The waiter was still pouring wine when she said it. Not loud, not angry. Bored. "You're so predictable," she sighed, eyes already drifting past me. "That's why I'm bored." The word landed clean. Surgical. I watched the red liquid rise in my glass. Steady hands. No spill. Predictable. She had used that word before. Like a diagnosis. Something terminal. Something she'd already accepted. Across the table, her phone vibrated once. She didn't look at it. She didn't need to. I smiled. A small one. The kind that keeps rooms calm. "Then maybe we should open the marriage," I said. "Give you something unexpected." Her head snapped up. Surprise. Then relief. Then something sharper. Triumph. Badly concealed. She laughed too fast. "You're serious?" I nodded. "Of course. You deserve excitement." Her phone vibrated again. This time she picked it up. I didn't stop her. Inside me, something old and disciplined slid into place. The part that reads fine print. The part that remembers dates, clauses, signatures. The part she had always mistaken for weakness. That night, she didn't come home. I lay awake in the dark, counting the seconds between my breaths. Not from pain, from clarity. Every late meeting, every sudden gym session, every password change masked as self-care. I replayed the dinner over and over. Predictable. I wondered if she remembered the prenup meeting. How bored she'd looked then, too. How she'd waved it off, telling the lawyer to just put in whatever standard stuff. Standard. The next morning, she kissed my cheek like muscle memory and told me she was staying with a friend. She said my name the way people say apologies they don't mean. I told her to have fun. At work, I requested phone records. Quietly. Privately. I already knew what I'd find. I just needed timestamps, patterns, proof. At home, I backed up our shared cloud. Screenshots don't lie when people do. I watched. I waited. She stopped deleting messages once she thought she was free. Stopped hiding receipts. Freedom makes people sloppy. Every night, I updated a folder on my desktop. Dates, locations, names. He had a name, a face, a habit of using the same hotel chain. Predictable. I never raised my voice, never asked questions. I let her believe she'd outgrown me. When the documents finally arrived, certified, notarized, cold as bone, I didn't open them right away. I made dinner instead, set the table, poured the wine, and waited for her to walk into the room, smiling, certain she'd already won. She walked in late, hair still damp, perfume unfamiliar, confidence rehearsed. She paused when she saw the table set. Candles, wine, the illusion of effort. For a second, doubt flickered across her face, just long enough to register. "Wow," she said. "Didn't expect this." "I know," I replied. "Unpredictable." She smiled, sat, crossed her legs. The chair creaked under her certainty. We ate in near silence, the kind couples mistake for peace. She scrolled her phone between bites, no longer hiding it. Freedom had made her careless. Finally, she leaned back. "So," she said lightly, "about the open marriage. I think it's really going to work." I nodded, took a sip of wine, let the pause stretch. "Me too." I slid an envelope across the table. Not dramatic, not rushed, just enough force to stop it in front of her plate. "What's this?" she asked, already annoyed. "Something you signed," I said, "years ago." She laughed. A short one, dismissive. "Is this about control?" "Because we agreed." "To honesty," I finished. "Yes." She opened it. The sound of paper shifting filled the room. Her eyes moved fast at first, then slower. Then, not at all. Color drained from her face in stages. "No," she whispered. This isn't—" "Clause 7, I said calmly. "Infidelity, emotional or physical, triggered by documented proof." Her hands started shaking. She looked up at me like I'd changed shape. "You said you were fine with it," she said. You said, I said you deserved excitement, I replied. I didn't say it was free. She stood abruptly, chair scraping the floor. This is insane. You can't just… I pulled out my phone, set it on the table, opened the folder. Dates, messages, hotel receipts, a life she'd been living loudly once she thought I'd stopped listening. She sank back into the chair. Tears came fast then. Ugly. Panicked. The kind meant to reverse time. Please, she said. We can fix this. I was just bored. You said it yourself. I smiled, not kindly. Boredom isn't a defense, I said. And predictable doesn't mean stupid. There was a knock at the door. Sharp, professional. I stood, opened it. The lawyer stepped in. Then security. Building protocol she'd insisted on years ago, back when she thought power was decorative. She looked at me as they asked her to gather her things. You planned this, she said, voice cracking. You let me… I let you be yourself, I said. You did the rest on record. As they escorted her out, she turned one last time. You ruined me, she whispered. I tilted my head. You wanted unpredictable, I said. How was that for a twist? The door closed. The apartment felt larger immediately. Quieter. Honest. I poured the rest of the wine down the sink. Deleted the folder. Shut off the lights. Some people mistake calm for complacency. They only realize the difference when everything they thought was theirs is already gone.